Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails scientific community for COVID vaccine, says it's a decisive turning point. Green signal to 2 COVID-19 vaccines for restricted use in emergency situation. Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat visits forward areas of Arunachal Pradesh, reviews situation in line of actual control. Indian Air Force deploys 4 helicopters to extinguish wildfire wreaking havoc in Zuko Valley in Nagaland and Manipur. And number of COVID cases further goes down across the country. No new case reported in Nagaland. A very good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin from the studios of DDK Guwahati. This is Ajanta Chaudhary, now with the stories in detail. In national news first, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the grant of approval by the DCGI to vaccines of Serum Institute of India and Bharat Biotech has accelerated the road to a healthier and COVID-free nation. Congratulating the nation and the hard-working scientists and innovators of the country, Modi in a tweet said, "It is a decisive turning point to strengthen a spirited fight." He said it will make every Indian proud that the 2 vaccines that have been given emergency use approval are made in India. This shows the eagerness of India's scientific community to fulfill the dream of an Atmanirbhar Bharat, at the root of which lies care and compassion. Modi said the government reiterates its gratitude to doctors, medical staff, scientists, police personnel, sanitation workers and all corona warriors for the outstanding work done, that too under adverse circumstances. On the other hand, Union Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan has said the vaccination drive has been based on an election process planned down to the booth level. In a tweet this morning, he said a humongous exercise to augment skilled personnel is now underway. He said that more than 57,000 participants across 719 districts have completed training and 96,000 vaccinators have been trained so far. Intricately designed vaccination centers to have separate waiting, vaccinating and observation rooms. He said there will be 5-member teams to cater to 100 beneficiaries and additional personnel for more beneficiaries. Anaphylaxis kits will be provided to manage adverse effects after immunization. In an earlier development, the Drug Controller General of India DCGI gave its approval for restricted use in emergency situation of 2 COVID-19 vaccines, AstraZeneca's Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin. The decision of the DCGI came after the Subject Expert Committee SEC of the Central Drug Standard Control Organization CDSCO recommended their emergency use. The expert panel of the drug regulator gave its recommendation for the emergency use authorization of Oxford AstraZeneca's Covishield and Bharat Biotech's Covaxin COVID-19 vaccines. On January 1, Covishield was recommended for emergency use, while Covaxin was recommended for restricted use on Saturday. The announcement in this regard was made by the Drug Controller General of India, V.G. Somani. He said at a press conference this morning that both firms submitted data on their trial runs and both have been granted permission for restricted use.
Recommendations of the expert committee, and accordingly vaccines of Messrs. Serum and Bharat Biotech are being approved for restricted use in emergency situation, and permission is being granted to Messrs. Cadila Healthcare for conduct of phase 3 clinical trial in India.
Now we take a short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Hey girls! Hi! Congratulations! आज तो पार्टी चाहिए। पहले चैंपियन के साथ सेल्फी लेंगे।
आइडिया, यही करते हैं पार्टी।
पिज्जा पार्टी। ये चल अपना कार्ड और पिन दे।
मेरे कार्ड की डिटेल्स मैं खुद ही डालूंगी। आरबीआई कहता है अपना पिन, ओटीपी, सीवीवी या इंटरनेट बैंकिंग पासवर्ड किसी के साथ शेयर ना करें। ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग सिर्फ अपने कंप्यूटर, मोबाइल और सिक्योर नेटवर्क से करें।
बाय गर्ल्स, कहाँ जा रही है? सुना नहीं? नो शेयरिंग।
आरबीआई कहता है जानकार बनिए, सतर्क रहिए।
घर की नारी कितनी जिम्मेदारी। मुन्ने का दूध, पिंकी की ड्रेस, दादी का गर्म पानी, दादू का जूस, आपकी जिम्मेदारी में हमारी भी है कुछ भागीदारी। आपके इस्तेमाल के प्रोडक्ट्स को हम देते हैं स्टैंडर्ड गुणवत्ता का प्रमाण, करते हैं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की निगरानी, फैक्ट्री और मार्केट के सैंपल की नियमित जांच, ताकि आप पर न आए कोई आंच। आपसे ही तो है गारंटी खुशियों की
और ISI से मेरे परिवार की सुरक्षा की।
Welcome back to the Northeast News. The Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, on Saturday visited forward areas of Arunachal Pradesh and took stock of the situation at a line of actual control. He was briefed on the operational situation by Lieutenant General Rana Pratap Kalita, General Officer Commanding Spear Corps, as well as other military commanders. He also visited the forward outpost in Subansiri Valley and interacted with soldiers deployed along the line of actual control. The Chief of Defence Staff was given a first-hand account of the operational preparedness and morale of troops deployed in the forward areas in harsh terrain and extreme weather conditions. In Nagaland, the Indian Air Force today deployed 4 helicopters equipped with Bambi buckets for firefighting mission at Zuko Valley in the state. The wildfire caught the adjoining areas of the picturesque Zuko Valley since the 29th of December. Defense sources in Kohima said the Bambi bucket operations by the IAF helicopters will continue tomorrow. An IAF helicopter was on Saturday pressed into service to douse the fire, but after assessment of extent of the fire, it was decided to deploy 3 more helicopters today. An AC-130J Hercules aircraft of the IAF also airlifted 9-ton load for firefighting, including 48 NDRF personnel from Guwahati to Dimapur. On the other hand, in Manipur also, the wildfire has been wreaking havoc in the hill range of Zuko Valley of Senapati district for the past 5 days. The Zuko Valley is situated in the border areas of Nagaland and Manipur, and it is a tourist destination with its distinct flora and fauna. The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.16%. A total of 20,963 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. According to the Union Health Ministry, the total number of recoveries has gone up to 99,27,310. The actual caseload currently comprises only 2.39% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 2,47,220. During the past 24 hours, 18,177 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases to over 1 crore 3 lakh currently. India's case fatality rate is at 1.45%, which is one of the lowest globally. During the last 24 hours, 217 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,49,435. In the COVID update from the region, Arunachal Pradesh has reported altogether 95 active cases with 16,576 recoveries. The death toll is 56. Manipur has now 1,104 active cases with 26,782 recoveries. The death toll is 357. In Meghalaya, the active cases are now 136 with 13,173 recoveries. The tally for the dead is 139. Mizoram has recorded 104 active cases with 4,111 recoveries. The death toll is 8. In Nagaland, active cases are now 186, followed by 11,533 discharged cases. The number of deaths is 79. Sikkim has now 530 active cases with 5,252 recoveries. The number of the dead is 129. Tripura has recorded 88 active cases with 32,809 discharged cases, while the death toll is 385. Nagaland reported no case of COVID-19 infection on Saturday. This is the second time since the state recorded nil case on December 27 last year. On the other hand, 5 people have recovered from the infection, taking the total recovered cases to 11,533 in the state. The recovery rate has also improved to 96.68%. Meanwhile, Nagaland Health Department's weekly COVID-19 bulletin issued on Saturday stated that though cases are decreasing in the past weeks, caution should be exercised. The department said the sample positivity rate remains one of the highest in the country. It said an increase in COVID-19 hospital admissions signifies an increase in moderate, severe and critical cases and undetected transmission in the community. In Mizoram, the COVID-19 recovery rate has improved to 97.25% as 4,111 patients have recovered from the infection so far. With this, the total number of active cases has also dropped down to 104. According to the state medical bulletin, 4 new cases were reported while 3 patients recovered in the past 24 hours. In Assam, the COVID-19 media bulletin issued by the State Health and Family Welfare Department and National Health Mission Assam has informed that 38 cases were detected during the last 24 hours out of 24,375 tests conducted. The positivity rate is 0.16%. The number of discharged patients was 80. The recovery rate has clocked 98%. With 2 more deaths, the number of deaths has gone up to 1,051. In Meghalaya, after the first direct flight operations from Shillong to Delhi, Umroi Shillong Airport has now a bigger plan for development. The airport has a history of irregular flights and has remained more or less non-functional due to reasons like logistics, terrain and passenger flow issues. However, the Airports Authority of India is optimistic that the airport has an enormous potential. It only needs the support of all stakeholders. Speaking to DD News, M. Suresh, Regional Executive Director, Airports Authority of India, said they are now focusing on strengthening the infrastructure with 2 additional parking spaces, taxi lanes and other facilities for upgrading the airport.
Airport Authority of India has started the modernization at Shillong Airport. We are developing the operational area expansion from the 2 aircraft parking bays to 4, and we are going to construct the new ATC cum technical block and fire station and much more facility to be introduced at Shillong Airport. Mainly we are focusing on the demand based. If the airlines is demanding more, we will provide the more service.
For more, viewers can also watch our bulletins and our other programs on our YouTube channel, DD News Guwahati. To end the news, the main points once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails scientific community for COVID vaccine, says it's a decisive turning point. Green signal to 2 COVID-19 vaccines for restricted use in emergency situation. Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat visits forward areas of Arunachal Pradesh, reviews situation in line of actual control. Indian Air Force deploys 4 helicopters to extinguish wildfire, wreaking havoc in Zuko Valley in Nagaland and Manipur. And number of COVID cases further goes down across the country. No new case reported in Nagaland. And before taking leave, viewers are reminded to maintain physical distancing and frequently wash hands with soap or sanitizer. Remember to wear a mask properly and join the Mask Up India campaign by Doordarshan to defeat the pandemic. Mask Up India. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.